Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ms. Hazel S. Matthias from the Department of Mathematics, KLS Vishwanath Rao Deshpande Institute of Technology, Haliyar. In the previous class, we were discussing about Z transforms, properties of Z transforms. We have discussed about linearity property, modulation property, then we have discussed about left and right shifting rules. And we have discussed few questions based on right and left shifting rule. So first let's discuss what is right shifting rule. What does the statement of this shifting rule says? It is if Z transform of un is equal to say some u bar of z function of z, then Z transform of un minus k is equal to z power minus k into u bar of z, where k is greater than 0. This is the statement of right shifting rule. Then also we have the left shifting rule. Okay, we have left shifting rule. According to left shifting rule, says that Z transform of un plus k, that is equal to z power k into u bar of z minus summation r equal to 0 to k minus 1 u r z power minus r. These are the two things we required and we need to know. Right shifting rule and left shifting rule. This is the important one. So first I just want to recollect the standard Z transforms. As we have learnt in Laplace transforms, there are some standard Z transforms as well. We need to remember those Z transforms. So starting with, see, listen to me carefully. I just repeat this every class. Every class I repeat what are these standard Z transforms. So just you need to remember this. Z transform of k power n. If you can write a function in terms of a power of n, that is k may be any number or any constant. If Z transform of k power n is z divided by z minus k. Then we have discussed about Z transform of 1, that is Z by Z minus 1. You need not learn the derivation, how it has come. You just need to remember this like a formula. Z transform of k power n is Z divided by Z minus k. Z transform of 1 is Z divided by Z minus 1. Then we have learned Z transform of n, that is Z divided by Z minus 1 whole square. Then we have learned Z transform of n square, that is Z square plus Z divided by Z minus 1 whole cube. Next one is Z transform of n cube, that is Z cube plus 4z square plus z divided by z minus 1 whole power 4. These are the standard Z transforms you need to remember. And here also this is the right shifting rule, Z transform of un minus k. Suppose if they have asked Z transform of un minus 2, then you need to apply this formula. Suppose if they have Z transform of un plus 2, n plus k, then you need to apply the second formula. So these are the concepts we have discussed in the previous class. So let's discuss few more topic in today's class, that is we will deal with the next topic, that is in Z transform itself we are dealing with a new topic, that is nothing but finding the Z transforms. Okay, finding the Z transforms using initial and final value theorem. So we will discuss what is this initial value theorem and final value theorem. Then we will discuss the questions based on that. So listen to me carefully. You need not know much about this. Just you need to remember these standard Z transforms. Z transform of k power n. What is Z transform of t? Z transform of n square, n cube. Okay, this much you remember. Don't think that you cannot understand, this much you remember. Then we'll go for the next theorem. It is initial value theorem. You do not have the proof of this. Okay, initial value theorem. You do not need to remember the proof of this. I'll just explain you how we can apply this in our problems. So we have initial value theorem which says that if Z transform of un equal to u bar of z, this is from the definition of Z transform, then limit z tending to infinity u bar of z, that is equal to u naught. This is the initial value theorem. This is the statement of initial value theorem. Suppose if we have a z transform of any function, say un is some u bar of z, then limit of that function is equal to u naught. This is what initial value theorem says. Now I just would like to derive it. You need not study the derivation, but the formulas or how we derive it we require to solve some of the problems. Okay, you need not remember how to prove it. What we just do is we know from the definition of z transform, by the definition of z transforms, by the definition of z transforms. By the definition of z transform, we have z transform of un is summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z power minus n. This is from the definition of z transform. Z transform of un is given by summation un z power minus n. Now what we do is, the first step what we have to do is z transform of un can also be written as u bar of z. That's why I write it as u bar of z is equal to, let's give different values for n starting from n equal to 0. So un z power minus n we have. When n equal to 0, n equal to 0, it will be u0 z power minus 0. Anything power 0 is 1, so we have u naught. So first when n equal to 0 we get u naught. Then when n equal to 1, what do we get when n equal to 1? It is, first you should start summation. It will start from n equal to 0 to infinity. So that means the summation will be, remember this, it will be n equal to 0 to 1 now, because if I take n equal to 1, n equal to 0 to 1, it will vary up to 1. Okay, so that time we will get when n equal to 0 it is u naught. Okay, then plus when n equal to 1 it will be u1 z power minus 1. That is nothing but u naught plus u1 by z. This is what we get it. So it continues like this. So when you add up, you will get the term like this. So we have discussed about this in the previous class. When you go on giving different values for n equal to 0, 1, 2, etc., we will get the values as u naught plus u1 by z plus u2 by z square plus u3 by z cube. This is what we get, z power minus n. That's why we get it as, see, when n equal to 3 we get u3 z power minus 3, which is nothing but u3 by z cube. That's why I have written it like this, etc. It goes up to infinity. Now see, we know in the formulas, in the problems, we always used to find the value of u naught, u1, u2, etc. We may have to find these values, u naught, u1, u2, etc. U naught formula we have, that is limit z tends to infinity, u bar of z will give you u naught. Suppose if we have to find u1, okay, if we have to find u1, what we need to do? Take this u naught to the other side. We get u bar of z is equal to u naught. If you take u naught to the other side, it will be minus u naught. So if I take u naught to the other side, what I get? U bar of z minus u naught equal to u1 by z plus u2 by z square plus u3 by z cube, etc. Okay, now if I take 1 by common from these terms, 1 by z common, that is u bar of z minus u naught is equal to, if I take 1 by z common outside, what happens from each of these terms? Take 1 by z outside. What do we get? u1 plus u2 by z, because z square is there, only one z I have taken, u3 by z square plus etc. Now cross multiply that. So when you cross multiply it, you get z into u bar of z minus u naught, that is equal to u1 plus u2 by 2 plus u3 by u2 by z plus u3 by z square plus etc. Now apply limit on both sides. When limit z tends to infinity, apply the limit where z tends to infinity, this expression will be z into u bar of z minus u naught. And what happens when you put z as infinity over here to this term? When z tends to infinity, this term tends to 0, because 1 by infinity is 0. It approaches to 0 when the denominator tends to infinity. So here also when the denominator, that is z tends to infinity, 1 by infinity tends to 0. What happens with this u1? u1 is a constant. So limit z tends to infinity, u1 will be equal to u1 itself. So we will get the expression for u1. What is u1? Limit z tends to infinity, z into u bar of z minus u naught. That will be the value of u1. This is how you find u1. See, remember here, using the concept of initial and final value theorem, we will be asked to find these constants u naught, u1, u2, u3, etc. I'm just deriving how you get those u naught, u1, u2, u3, etc. You need not remember the step. It's required to remember the formula. u1 means limit z tends to infinity, z into u bar of z minus u naught. Okay, otherwise you need to remember this right and left shifting rule also. From this also you can find those constants u1, u0, u2, etc. So now we have got the expression for u1. Now similarly again you take from the definition of Z transforms. What is the Z transform definition? Z transform of un is equal to Z transform of un is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z power minus n. We know from the definition Z transform of un of z. Now give different values for n. So first when n equal to 0 you get u naught, u1 by z plus u2 by z square plus u3 by z cube plus u4 by z power 4, etc. Now we have found out u1 over here, correct? u1 over here we have found out. Now we want u2. So if you want u2, what we do, take these two step points to the other side. So what do we get? U bar of z minus u naught minus u1 by z, that is equal to u2 by z square plus u3 by z cube plus u power 4 by z power 4, etc. Next, what from this term, take 1 by z square outside. If you take 1 by z square outside, what remains? u2 plus u3 by z plus u power 4 by z square plus etc. remains. Now take this z square to the other side. What do we get? It will be z square into u bar of z minus u naught minus u1 by z, that is equal to, what do we get? u2 plus u3 by z plus u4 by z square plus etc. Is it clear everyone? You need not learn this derivation, but just for your information I am telling you how do we get the formula for u0, u1, u2, etc. Is it okay? Is it okay everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, so what happens when limit z tends to infinity? Apply limit on both sides. When limit z tends to infinity, it is z square into u bar of z minus u naught minus u1 by z. So when you apply limit over here, when limit z tends to infinity, u3 by z tends to 0. Similarly here, when z tends to infinity, u4 by z square tends to 0. And limit when z tends to infinity, this is the constant term, so it will be u2. So here we have the expression for u2. Just compare this, and in general you can write the formula for u3 as well. So what will be u3? It will be limit z tends to infinity. Just check. u2 is z square into u bar of z minus u naught minus u1 by z. So u3 will be z cube into u bar of z minus u naught minus u1 by z minus u2 by z square. Is it okay everyone? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so this is what you mean by like how to get the derivation, how to get the points for initial and final value theorem. Next, so this is regarding your initial value theorem. Next, we will discuss about final value theorem. What is a final value theorem? Final value theorem. Statement says that if Z transform of Un is some function of Z, U bar of Z, then limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into U bar of Z, that is equal to limit n tending to infinity Un. Okay, this is the final value theorem 6. If Z transform of Un is happens to be a function of Z, then limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into U bar of Z is equal to limit n tending to infinity Un. This is the final value theorem 6. So let's discuss few questions. You just need to remember these definitions. You need not remember the derivation. It is not included in your syllabus. So whenever in the question these things need to be applied, you need to remember this final value theorem and initial value theorem. In most of the cases, we will use, this is a small concept, we shall use only the initial value theorem over here. So let's discuss one question. So according to that, U bar of Z is given. If U bar of Z is equal to 2Z square plus 3Z plus 12 divided by Z minus 1 power 4, we need to find the value of U0, U1, U2, U3. Okay, U1, U2, U0, U1, U2, U3, you need to find where U bar of Z is given to you all. So try to understand, even though you do not know anything what we have learned before, just concentrate on this question. Whatever I am saying, try to understand it. Okay. You need not have any previous definition or whatever. I'll just explain you all everything in this question. Just listen to me carefully. U bar of Z is given, that is Z transform of a function is given, which is 2Z square plus 3Z plus 12 divided by Z minus 1 power 4. We need to find the values of those U0, U1, U2, U3. So first, we have from the definition of Z transforms and we have derived what is U0, U1, U2, U3 from that. What is U0? U0 is very simple. It is limit Z tends to infinity U bar of Z. Okay, this is a formula you need to remember, that is limit Z tends to infinity. What is U bar of Z? Here it is. It is 2Z square plus 3Z plus 12 divided by Z minus 1 whole power 4. Now you need to apply the limit. What is it? Limit Z tends to infinity. So here what happens, you see, if you just go on putting wherever Z is there, if you go on putting infinity, it will be of the form infinity by infinity. Correct? If you put Z over here as infinity, infinity plus infinity in the denominator also infinity, so it will be of the form infinity by infinity. So in order to avoid that and in order to find the value, what happens when limit Z tends to infinity, what we do is we just take Z square outside from the numerator. From the numerator, if I take Z square outside, what do we get? 2 plus 3 divided by Z plus 12 by Z square. Am I correct? From the numerator, take Z square outside. So 2 plus 3 divided by, if I have to take Z square outside, I have to multiply and divide by Z. So if I multiply and divide by Z, 3Z square will be taken out. Whatever Z is remaining, it's here in the denominator. 12 doesn't have any Z square term. So I have to multiply by Z square and divide by Z square. The multiplicated Z square is taken out and 1 which is remaining is there over here. Now in the denominator, what shall we do in the denominator? So Z minus 1 power 4. If I divide inside the power 4, inside this power, I can write it as, if I take Z outside, it will be 1 minus 1 by Z. Am I correct? You have here Z minus 1. So instead here, if you take from Z minus 1, if you take Z outside, from Z minus 1, okay, from Z minus 1, I take Z outside, what will remain? 1 minus 1 by Z remains. So that is what I have written. From Z minus 1, if you take Z outside, 1 minus 1 by Z remains. Power 4, okay, Z into 1 minus 1 by Z power 4. Now what happens over here? It is Z square into 2 plus 3 by z plus 12 by z square, denominator as it is, divided by here z into 1 minus z by power 4. So it is nothing but z power 4, 1 minus 1 by z power 4. Now what happens over here? The z square get cancels, z square remains. Now you apply the limit z tends to infinity. Limit z tends to infinity. Now you apply the limits. What happens when you apply the limit? See, when z tends to infinity, 3 by z tends to 0, because 1 by infinity is 0. Anything by infinity is 0. Similarly here, when z square tends to infinity, 12 by infinity tends to 0. Similarly over here, when z tends to infinity, 1 by infinity tends to 0. So what remains here? 2 plus 0 plus 0. In the denominator we have z square, correct? So 2 divided by z square it will be. 2 divided by z square will remain. So limit z tends to infinity, 2 by z square. Similarly, when z tends to infinity, 2 by infinity is 0. So we will get the value of u naught as 0. U naught value will be 0, because anything by infinity will be 0. We will have a term z square. So when z tends to infinity, 1 by infinity tends to 0. This is what we get. Now we have to find u1. Okay, u naught we found out. Next we will find u1. What is the formula for u1? u1 is nothing but, see this formula you need to remember. Limit z tends to infinity, z into u bar of z minus u naught. So that is equal to limit z tends to infinity, z into u bar of z is given in the question. Where is it? See, 2z square plus 3z plus 12 divided by z minus 1 power 4. So what happens when you substitute for u bar of z? It is 2z square plus 3z plus 12 divided by z minus 1 whole power 4 minus u naught. U naught is what? 0. So minus 0. Now we shall have to find the value of this when limit z tends to infinity. Similar case, how we have done, take z square outside. What do we get if I take z square outside? It is 2 plus 3 divided by z plus 12 by z square, because 12 does not have a z square term. That's why I have to multiply and divide by z square. Divided by, here also same case, you can take z outside. If you take z outside, it is 1 minus 1 by z whole power 4. Now apply the limit. What happens here? It will be limit z tends to infinity, this z square into z. It will be z cube into 2 plus 3 by z plus 12 by z square whole divided by z power 4, 1 minus 1 by z power 4. So here 1 z get cancels, 1 by z remains. So when limit z tends to infinity, the value of the u1 will be 0. Is it okay everyone? Anybody has any doubt? Please ask me if you have any doubt. Done? Shall we continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next we will find u2. What is the formula for u2? u2 is, see it's very easy to remember, limit z tends to infinity. u2 means it will be z power 2. Okay, like this you need to remember. And here inside the bracket you should have the terms up till the previous one, that is up till u1 you should have. Okay, if u2 is asked, u2 means it will be limit z tends to infinity, z power 2. After z power 2, it will be u bar of z minus u naught minus u1 by z. Up till u1 you should have. So this is the formula which is easy to remember. That is equal to limit z tends to infinity, z square into, what is u bar of z? U bar of z is given in the question. It is 2z square plus 3z plus 12 divided by z minus 1 power 4, and u naught is 0, as also u1 is also 0. So 0 minus 0 we will get. Now let's simplify this. Limit z tends to infinity, this z square is there, z square into, from this term take z square outside. So if I take z square outside, what will remain? 2 plus 3 by z plus 12 by z square whole divided by. Am I correct? Denominator also z into 1 minus 1 by z whole power 4. From the z minus 1, if you take z outside, it will be z into 1 minus 1 by z whole power 4. So what happens over here? Limit z tends to infinity. This z square into z square, it will be z power 4 into 2 plus 3 by z plus 12 by z square whole divided by z into z minus 1 by z whole power 4, which is nothing but z power 4 1 minus 1 by z whole power 4. So this z power 4 get cancels. Now we apply the limits. When you apply the limit, when z tends to infinity, 3 by z tends to 0. When z tends to infinity, 12 by z square tends to 0. Here 1 by z is there. When z tends to infinity, this tends to 0. So 1 minus 0 power 4, which is 1. And here 2 plus 0 plus 0. So it will be 2 plus 0 plus 0 divided by 1, which is nothing but 2. Therefore, value of u2 is 2. Anybody has any doubt? Anybody has any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now we need to find the third one, that is u3 also we need to find. What is u3? How do you write the formula? Limit z tends to infinity. If u3 means it will be power of z will be 3. z3 into u bar of z minus u0 minus u1 by z minus u2 by z square minus u2 by z square. Is it okay? Okay, this is how you remember the formula. It's very easy to remember. Now let's substitute all the values. Limit z tends to infinity. Z cube into u bar of z is given to us 2z square plus 3z plus 12 divided by z minus 1 whole power 4 minus u0 is 0, u1 is also 0 minus u2 we have got it to be 2. So it will be 2 divided by z. This is what we get it. Now see here, we have here minus 2 by z, these terms over here. So we can take the LCM in order to simplify this. It will be...
Ma'am, that is 2 by z square.
Yes, correct. It is 2 by z square. Very good. It is 2 by z square. Limit z tends to infinity, z cube into, now let's take the LCM as z square into z minus 1 whole power 4. Okay, so here in the denominator only z minus 1 power 4 is there. That's why you have to multiply the terms which are there in the numerator by z square. Z square into 2z square plus 3z plus 12. Then minus 2 into by z square. So denominator only z square is there. Therefore you have to multiply 2 by z minus 1 whole power 4. This is how you take the LCM. Now let's simplify this. What happens? Limit z tends to infinity, z cube into z square. Now let's multiply these two. Z square into 2z square. What happens? Z square into 2z square. Or shall we take this term outside? We shall take this. Can also wait. What shall we do over here? Let's multiply first, then we will see whether we can simplify that. What happens when we, here you see, after taking the LCM, let's multiply this. Z square into 2z square, it will be what? 2z power 4. Am I correct? Z square into 2z square is 2z power 4. Then z square into 3z, it will be 3z cube plus 12z square minus 2 into, what will be z minus 1 power 4? How do you calculate z minus 1 power 4? You can find it as z minus 1 whole square into z minus 1 whole square. Let's multiply this. Z square plus 1 minus 2z, z square plus 1 minus 2z. So what do we get here? Z square into Z square is Z power 4. Then what is the next term? We'll get Z square plus 1. It will be Z square minus 2Z cube plus Z square plus 1 minus 2Z. Multiply and check it. Minus 2Z cube minus 2Z plus 4Z square. Check now, what do we get? We get it as Z minus 1 whole power 4. Here is Z power 4 term, Z power 4. Then Z cube we can check. 4Z cube minus 4Z cube. So it will be minus 2Z cube minus 2Z cube. It is minus 4Z cube. Then check for Z square. 4Z square plus Z square plus Z square. It is 6Z square. Then check for Z. Minus 2Z minus 2Z minus 4Z and plus 1. So this is what we get when we find Z minus 1 whole power 4 divided by what we have Z square into Z minus 1 whole power 4. Now simplify this numerator. What happens when you simplify the numerator? Limit Z tends to infinity. Okay, when you simplify the numerator, limit Z tends to infinity. Here you can cancel out now Z square and 1Z. So it will be Z into, see, 2 plus 2Z power 4 and minus 2Z power 4 get cancels. Correct? Then check for Z cube. 3Z cube minus 2 into minus 4Z cube. So it will be minus into minus is plus. 3 plus 8, it is 11Z cube. Okay? Here 3Z cube and here 8Z cube. 4 2s are 8. Minus of minus is plus. 8 plus 3 is 11Z cube. Afterwards here 12Z square and here we have minus 12Z square. So that Z square also get cancels. Then we have minus 2 minus 4Z. 4 2s are 8. So it is plus 8Z. We get 8Z. Then minus 2 into 1. So it is minus 2. So this is what we get after we cancel out few terms in the numerator and denominator remains as it is. Now next, limit Z tends to infinity. See here Z cube is there. So what we do is from the numerator, from only this term. From this term, let's take Z cube outside. If I take Z cube outside, what will remain? 11 minus, plus 8 by Z square minus 2 by Z cube. Clearly from the denominator, if I take Z outside, it is 1 minus 1 by Z whole power. Next, we can simplify this over here. This Z into Z cube will be Z power 4. Limit Z tends to infinity, Z power 4 into 11 plus 8 by Z square minus 2 by Z cube whole divided by Z power 4. Here it is. Z power 4 into 1 minus 1 by Z whole power 4. This is what we get it. The Z power 4 and Z power 4 get cancels. Now you apply the limit. When you put the limit Z tends to infinity, 8 by infinity tends to 0. Here also when Z tends to infinity, this term tends to 0. Here also when Z tends to infinity, 1 by infinity tends to 0. So what do we get over here? 11 plus 0 divided by 1 power 4, which is 11. So what is the value of U3? It is 11. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody, any doubts? I hope you all understood how to find the values of U0, U1, U2, U3. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any doubt, please let me know now itself. You have the notes. I have asked you all to maintain a separate notebook. I hope you all have maintained. So when you practice, practice along with me so that it will become easier for you all.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So let me briefly revise this problem. What we have first done is, see, one u bar of z will be given. Z transform of a function is given. Here in this case it was given to be 2z square plus 3z plus 12 divided by z minus 1 whole power 4. This u bar of z is given. We need to find u0, u1, u2 and u3. For that we have the formula where u0 is what? Limit z tends to infinity u bar of z. U bar of z is here. You just need to apply the limit. You will get the value. Okay, just you need to remember that taking that z square term is must, so that you can apply the limit. It will be easier for you. Next one is obtained by limit z tends to infinity z into u bar of z minus u0. Next we have u2. u2 is given by limit z tends to infinity z square into u bar of z minus u0 minus u1 divided by z. Next we have u3. It is given by limit z tends to infinity z cube into u bar of z minus u0 minus u1 by z minus u2 divided by z square. Okay, these are the formulas you need to remember. If any of you, see this is a new concept I taught you all in Z transforms. You do not have to do much. U bar of Z will be given. You need to substitute in this and find the limit. Finding the limit is not a new thing for you all. You all have been learning all these things in since your PU classes. How to put the limit, how to substitute the limits, how to apply the limits. So nothing much, just I have applied the concept of initial and final value theorem, also the right and left shifting rule, so that the concepts are easier. Also the definition of Z transform. Z transform of Un is U bar of Z. If then how U bar of Z is given as, that is Z transform of Un is given to be summation n equal to 0 to infinity Un Z power minus n. Just apply the definition and we have derived all the four formulae. It can be applied to find u4, u5 etc. also. Okay, so practice everyone. I would like to recall all the formulas whatever we have discussed in Z transforms once again, because tomorrow we will be requiring all these things. So we have Z transform of k power n, which is very important, which we use most of the time. Z transform of k power n is z divided by z minus k. Then we have Z transform of 1, which is z divided by z minus 1. Then we have Z transform of n, which is z by z minus 1 whole square. Then we have Z transform of n square, which is z divided by z minus 1, z square plus z divided by z minus 1 whole cube. Then we have Z transform of n cube, which is z cube plus 4z square plus z divided by z minus 1 whole power 4. These are the very important things. These are the Z transforms you all must need to remember. Okay, we have not learned much about, only we have learned these things and we have to use these concepts only in the questions. And today we have discussed about initial value theorem. What does initial value theorem says? If Z transform of Un is say some U bar of Z, then limit Z tends to infinity U bar of Z is U0. From this we get the formula for U0. Okay, then we have final value theorem, which says that if Z transform of Un is U bar of Z, then limit Z tends to 1. This is specifically for limit the values of Z tending to 1. Limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into U bar of Z is equal to limit n tending to infinity Un. I hope this is clear to everyone. These are the two, this is initial value theorem and this is final value theorem. And we will be using this while solving or finding the values of U0, U1, U2, U3, etc. So this is regarding initial and final value theorem. More questions we will discuss in the next class. If you have any doubt, please contact me. Keep writing the notes. Do not depend on PDF notes. That PDF notes only you write it in your notebook separately, so that it is easier for you all to study during the exam time. And most of the questions, those who are finding it difficult, please work out the problems repeatedly, which I have discussed in the class itself. Okay, I have discussed few questions. You can go through the YouTube links. If anybody is not having YouTube links, please contact me. I'll provide the YouTube links as well. Or go through that civil engineering playlist. In that, go to third sem. You have lots of videos of this transform calculus. So we have discussed earlier as well as now. So we are in the fifth module. Last module we are in. That's why after this, after I finish, maybe within 2 weeks, we will finish this. Then we will do the revision starting from the beginning. So everybody can understand the concept. For that, you need to have the written notes. Do not depend the notes on in your whatever hand you have written. I have been telling this since the beginning. While I discussed, write the notes. Work out along with me so that it will be easier for you all, so that you can turn the pages and search for the notes. In mobile it's not going to happen like that. I do not know how many of you may have maintained, but I have been telling this since the first class. Maintain separate notebook. I hope that you all have maintained. If it is maintained, it's well and good. Otherwise we'll see, after the third internal we can do something. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please let me know. Thank you, everyone. One more thing.